Hello everyone, let me take this opportunity to welcome you back to this session that we are going to discuss the referencing in Excel. We know that Excel is a very powerful tool, especially for those who are in accounting sector. So in this case, I have the data here that is of a cell or a range of a cell in a worksheet. So for example, this is the name of this cell. It is found under, you can find this one is called, maybe for example it is called the cell naming cell. So here, so this is how this cell can be referenced. If I go to the second cell, you can see different referencing of this cell values. So we can just say that a cell reference maybe is a combination of this column letters and maybe the row number is column A, row 2. That is what we are referring to as the cell addressing. We are going to discuss different types of the cell addressing with the one that you have been using. Maybe you have not been knowing how you are addressing it. Maybe for example, if I click on that cell there, you can see these 3, and this is what we refer to as the cell addressing. It is the first way. And this one we normally say it is by default. It uses this style of maybe a column letter and then followed by a row number. Then the second type of referencing, the relative referencing. So I can highlight this to maybe, and just copy that cell, and maybe so that we can move away from the marked or the highlighted like that. So in this, to the cells in a formula based on the position of the cell that contains that formula. Maybe for example here, you can see here we need to get the net pay for this, the net pay for this employee. Maybe we can insert another row there. I take for example, we have this, we just highlight here, and then we can right click, and then we can do we know 5 shillings, but instead he had some deductions of these. So now, so that I can be able to get the net pay for this guy, I need to have the formula here. We know that we can use maybe the relative referencing. The relative referencing, we just start with maybe with the second cell here, the second cell there, and then we can just click enter, and see, you can see that if this amount, that is 148.05 cents, is subtracted from that 1,000, you get that this person took home, so that you don't replicate the formula like that up to there. And you can see now all these employees, they have their salary for this computed like this. So you can maybe come to the formula here, and maybe the computation, mine is a bit grouped, but that is how we can just use that. You can just double click and you can see that is the formula that has been used. You can even double click there. You can see that whenever it went to the second cell, it is subtracted this B minus C3. You can see the same that formula into a cell, maybe it maybe to the other cell. This one is it automatically changes to another cell after you copy this. Then the next one we can discuss is called the absolute cell referencing. We know in absolute cell referencing, what is the difference? We know that an absolute cell referencing maybe is maybe a particular cell maybe can be referred to in a formula regardless of its maybe position in the work sheet. And to make the absolute, maybe the first thing that we do is by typing the $sign. Maybe for example, if I want to compute it, we can just take we can just say maybe is equals, and then we can take whatever is in that cell, and then that cell, and then maybe we divide it by we divide it by 100 like that, and then from there we can multiply all these. Let me see. And then maybe we can multiply it by maybe another 100 like that, and then to have this one on a separate thing, let's see if we can, it can allow us to insert another cell. Why is it inserting? So let us insert here, and then we can click on insert. Good. And then here I want us we insert another cell here, and this cell we are going to want like that, and then we can click on that. And then because we want to divide everything by 100 here, we can just repeat this formula. We can double click it, and remember here we want this cell instead of this 100 here. Let us maybe try to have this one being 96, which is very okay, because if you divide 96 divide by 100 multiply by 100 cancels, and you are left with 96. So we can just copy this formula and see what happens. So you can see different values has been given. If I double click here, you can see this one has to divide all through by 100. So that is now where the absolute cell referencing comes in, because we need to lock that cell maybe, and to type this to lock this cell, we want to lock so that we can only have that cell in our place. You just click enter that way. So remember now, since we want this to be the same, I can just do away with all this. You can just delete. That ones. Then maybe we can click on delete. Oh, sure. Just deleted the entire column. So let us just delete it by one by one. And there we have that deleted. So we can just go back to our cell here, and then where we have because we want that cell, we can just come and lock this cell. So using the dollar sign, so we need to lock it using the dollar sign so that they can be an absolute. So we have it like that, and then also I think also we are supposed to lock the other one so that now it can be able to copy it throughout. We see. Good. And there you can see now these, you can see now if we double click here, we still get that this, we have this cell being valid, but it is referencing to this. The same case if you lock this, you see now that is what we refer to for the row, and in that we make it to be maybe that cell to remain constant when multiplying maybe with it. That is what we refer to as that. And maybe the next thing I want us to discuss is the mixed referencing. And in the mixed referencing here, I have not come up with any, maybe one, and then from that one maybe I can drag and fill the, and click here and then fill the cells like that. And then also the same case, I can drag it this way like that, and then I can click there and then I fill the cells also. So let us try to create a multiple table for this. I want to multiply that such that when I multiply these 2 and 2, I get a 4 here. I get a 4. So let's change this to something, or let us have another one here so that we can be able to multiple, so that here I want us we get a 4. So in that scenario now we need to lock one of the column. Maybe this column, we don't want this column to change, but you can see in this one we have to change this column. We need to change maybe this cell equals to this cell, and then I multiply it with this cell here, and then I say enter. If I goes to the next one and try to copy this, you realize I'm getting a very different here, because now here it is taking this A3, and then it is multiplied with this A2, and maybe we can have this. So now I want to see how I can have that. So the good thing is that I can come here and lock maybe that cell, and lock that cell. Maybe for example here we can have this one being, because we want to make that one to be constant, that way. You can click that, and then let us try to see if we drag here. You can see here we can still get 2 multiplied by that is equals to that, because we have already locked these to be the same. So we can just I write it like that and have it at 28. Let us try to cut to maybe to copy it on the other, we see. And here if we try to multiply this, you can see we are getting it to be what? To be 8. We are getting it to be 8. So now we need to identify changing, not changing. This is not changing. So I'm going to do away with this still. With that instead, maybe for example I may have this. Not changing, so I need to lock these this first column here. In this number I want to lock that first, so I can have a $sign there. So you can see here there are some which I have just done what? There are some which I have locked, and here now you can see now we are getting the same. We are also getting the same value. We are also getting the same value. So we need to identify which one is which we need to lock, so that we can have a different value in all the cases. The first one we have already done, so we need to, but here if this one we lock it to be constant, it means that it's going to multiply this. But what is constant? It is this row. So instead of locking that, let us try to lock the row here. We lock the row that way. Then this one being what? We need to this one to multiply. This one is multiplying 2 and 8 to get 4 multiplied by 8. If we double click there, you can see that this one has been B2, which is the same this B lock B, and then it is multiplying that column. Is multiplying that column. So let us see how we can work on this and have it being a multiple. Maybe have it being a multiple, so we can do this. We have there, and then let us try to lock maybe this that way. Then maybe let us try to leave the row, because we don't want to lock that. And then we come here, let us remove one, and then here we can, and here you can see good, this one is 6, and then we can have it up to here and see. So you can see this one is 22 good. So you can see it is multiplying all through, and then from there maybe we can drag it down once like that and see. It's very obvious, it's 11, and multiply by 11 you'll get 121. So that is how you can do the mixed referencing. And here if you click on any formula like this, you get what has been the one that has been locked and the one that is been. This one is maybe the referencing using names, which I think it is not all that good, but let's see. So we can just start there. Referencing using name, we normally say that this is maybe as a type of referencing, maybe where the data reach or the height have the equals, and then here we want to get the what, the difference. I want to give the difference, or just let us maybe edit that and have it, sorry, let us maybe call these not deductions, now we call it maybe we can call this one maybe to be commission, so that you can differentiate from the one that we have done earlier on. We can call this one commission that he has earned that month. So now we can have the total earnings here, or the total pay, like that. And then here we need now to get we know that for us to get the total pay for this person, that is equals to maybe sum, and then we can have the parentheses like that. That cell should be added to this other cell like that, and then we can terminate it like that. So now let us try to replace here this range with to the other one that way, and then we click enter. So we get that this added to that is giving us that, and then remember you can copy it like that. So now let us try to replace this cell leading just try to put it to be that, and then we can have that cell, so it is giving us more than the excess. So you can just do away this. We refer to that sum, and then we can maybe add that, and then we can add to this, and then we can close the parentheses and click enter, and then that is the addition, and then from there we can maybe copy throughout with reference to that. I'll replace this cell. You can see now this, if I click on this cell, it is writing something to do with the product here instead of giving me the cell name. And that's bring us to the end of this session. I was your trainer Maurice Monene. Please consider subscribing, like,